in the American experiment for this specific pre-2012 time. This is the actual Mayan representation of this moment, this transition, this alignment between the sun and the center of the galaxy. The winter solstice sunrise, 50 BC, the dark rift of the Milky Way illustrated here, the birth canal of the cosmic mother. Well, if you actually look at the geometric relationships, here's where the solstice sun was 3,000 years ago, 3,000 BCE, before the current era. Here's where the solstice sun was 1500 BCE, and here's where it's going to be in 2012, right on the center line of the galaxy. Remember, defined as the rotation of 400 billion other stars around this invisible point in the center of the galaxy, right about there. In the hyperdimensional model, if that doesn't have an effect, I'll make you a bet. And don't bet against me. So Stella 11, I thought it was kind of cute that Stella 11 is the one that told John this story in Azapa. Shows cosmic father in the mouth of the cosmic mother, the dark rift, the birth canal, an image of the imminent alignment that culminates in 2012. And not to be left out, 21st century science has got some jazzy toys and tools, and here's some astronomers down at the European Southern Observatory who actually were beaming a sodium vapor laser toward the center of the galaxy as part of a, oh hell, we're technologists and we can do anything. This is a real picture. This is not Photoshop. This is actually a real time-lapse picture. And I just threw it in because it's cool, okay? Sometimes science is just cool. Now, here we have some real data. This is from my friend Paul LaViolette, who we're going to see in a minute. This is the present over here, reversal of the other diagram. And we have 10, 20, 30, 40. This is time from present in thousands of years. So this is 10,000 years, 20,000, 30 is in the middle, 40,000, 60, 80, 100, this way. The red curve is the relative cosmic ray intensity measured in ice corings in the Arctic and the Antarctic. Notice the peaks. Notice that it isn't constant. Notice how they rise and fall. Well, this semi-periodicity is about 13,000 years, which is the time from one alignment with the center of the galaxy to the other alignment of the center of the Milky Way galaxy. 13,000 is half of 26,000. And this is the ice core depth. This is where they found these readings. And you can see that it also has a wonderful periodicity. This is Paul at the VLA, just south of this in New Mexico. He wrote his PhD thesis on events that he thinks are happening in the center of the Milky Way. Well, what is the Milky Way? This is a projection of the galaxy, the Milky Way, a barred spiral with an oblate core. We're about 26,000 light years from the center of the galaxy here. So the alignment is basically when the Earth and Sun are aligned in that winter solstice period now on the 21st of December with the approximate center. Keep in mind that this is going on. The galaxy is rotating, the black hole is spinning 11 times per second. It's also precessing. We'll get to that in a minute. The ultimate effect of all those stars collectively has got to be to create the most, well, to quote the Mayans, the mother of all torsion waves, okay? Which swash over the solar system and affect all of it simultaneously depending upon the geometry. Because remember, it's the geometry that creates the resonance patterns. That's why it's the geometry stupid, not the economy stupid. And here is a close-up showing the solar system and the Earth, its orbit, in relationship to this galactic transition of information energy. And this is the alignment, the Big Megillah. As the sun and solar system come into this alignment, the model now says with unequivocation that something really interesting has got to happen. And in fact, as we see from the signs all around us, it is. As I said to George on that panel a year ago, when he said, was something magical, weird, disastrous, whatever going to happen on the night of 21st? I said, George, We're in the pattern. It's happening now. It's not a moment, it's a window. And it's a window of opportunity, a window of physics, hyperdimensional opportunity. And oh my God, suddenly out of nowhere comes this guy from... Have you been following the weird controversy where Barack Obama was born? Do you understand the hyperdimensional significance of this whole little Megillah, which is going to go all the way to the Supreme Court? There is going to be, before the inauguration... Oh, I'm predicting in public again. Darn, I got to stop doing that. I am predicting that there will be a Supreme Court decision attesting to the fact that Barack Obama was indeed born in Hawaii. Why? Because he, of course, then is the first president of the United States born at 19.5 degrees. That's the reason. That's why they've kept it going. They haven't put out the birth certificates. They want it to go till the Supreme Court. The ultimate law of the land says this, in essence, is a hyperdimensional president. Isn't this cool? I mean, this is what real science is. It's the cutting edge. When you know what you're doing because you have the facts. And when you have the facts, you can make specific predictions. So I'm going to be really intrigued to see that one come true. I have a running bet with a deep black Intel guy who is coming around. He's saying, you know, Hoagland, he says, the more I look at this, the more I think you actually might be right about some of this stuff. He was such a bushy. Oh, in the beginning, he was so rabidly bushy. And now, of course, he's turned state's evidence, and he's one of my sources that gives us a lot of good stuff. Hey, most of the system is honest. Can you imagine how these guys, these Boy Scouts, feel when they finally wake up one day and figure out we was robbed, we've been lied to ourselves, the so-called elites, the one that's supposed to run the world, and they find out they don't run a, I can't say that on tape, thing? Anyway, so the hyperdimensional model says that as part of this pattern, part of this, calm down, part of this plan, Barack Obama has to be vindicated as having been born at 19.5 degrees. Oh, and do you remember the really cool part about the night of the election? How he won, he in essence won the moment Ohio's results came in. Now, Ohio's results, in fact, all the results are not based on real votes. You understand that what goes on November 4th is not real voting. It's the collective judgment of the networks based on exit polls and smidgens of counts, because the counts take hours and hours, and sometimes, in the case of Alaska, it's taken us weeks. So the decision of when to commit, when to say NBC News announces that, that's all basically a judgment. It's a value judgment based on a bunch of experts in the back room counting these various inputs and fitting them into a computer model which says if so many people in the exit polls say they did this, and the vote tally so far looks like this, the odds are, yeah, he won the state, or, oh, he lost the state, that kind of thing. So the judgment decision as to when to call each specific race is very variable. It's a free variable. They can do it basically whenever they want. So if there's a pattern, if there is a plan, if there has been help for Obama, God help us, in the media, so we actually have a shot at something brand new, something real, something that will empower what this experiment is supposed to be, then part of the way that they helped is by holding back the data until certain of these moments when hyperdimensionally there's a resonance of the matrix, the cultural discussion with the underlying physics that's driving the whole train. They announced Ohio when he won 195 electoral votes. He won the election by the addition of California, Hawaii, and Oregon with 333 electoral votes at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 11, 11, 11, 11 is a subtext for 19.5. I would show you mathematically, but I don't have time. And isn't it interesting that John McCain promptly, at